All right, so now let's deploy the backend. So for the backend, I'm going to deploy it on render. So let me go to my render dashboard. Okay, so I'll need to log in. I think they logged me out. Okay, so I'm logged in here, and I just got to create a new web service. So I'll click on web service, and then we are going to have to select our repository from GitHub. Okay, great. So p-invent app front end, p-invent app backend, this is what we want to connect. So I'll just click on connect. All right, so it's asking us for a name for this service. So I'm going to call it something similar to what we have here. So it's going to be p-invent app API, because for me this is unique. So just make sure it's the same thing as what you used for your front end environment variable. So p-invent app API, then root directory, I'll just leave it blank. It's going to deploy from the master branch. Then the build command for me, it's npm run build. So I'll say npm run build. Then the start command, node server.js. Well, let's check if we have that start command here. So I will go to my backend and the package.json. Do we have it? Let's see. So we have it start, npm start, and it's pointing to node server.js. So let's just be a little bit, so here I just gotta say npm start. All right, then let's come down and see, make sure you're in the free plan if you don't want to start paying immediately. Then what else? Just click on create web service. So I'll click on that, and this is going to take a while. I know it's a couple of minutes from the previous ones I've done, so I'm just going to pause this, and if there's any error, just like we did in the task manager app, we're going to look at the error together and correct. So let's just wait. Oh, but before we even let the deploy complete, we have to add our environment variables for the backend. And I think for the backend, we have a number of environment variables. So let's come here to the environment, and we're just going to add all the variables we need for the project. So I'll say add environment variables. And then what's the first we have? Well, the front end URL should probably be the first. So I'll just come here, and then I'll add the front end URL. And what's it? So this is it right here, p-invent app Vercel blah blah blah. Copy that and then come back here and slot that in. So I may not paste in all of the environment variables, like the ones I don't want you to maybe have to see. I won't paste them in on the live video, but I'll just put the name so that you can see. Then you add your own. And these are the environment variables that we need to work with the front end. So I'm just going to pause the video and then add some other sensitive ones. So I'm saving the environment variables, and what that will do is that it will restart my deploy. So if you just go to the events, then you see that the deploy has restarted. Yeah, so you see new deploy has started. So just gotta wait for it to finish, then we'll now test it with the front end. All right, so just hold that. And also if you notice, that the URL is p-invent-app-api, which is what we set in the front end environment variable. So we're good to go, just to wait for it to finish. And it actually just occurred to me that I made a tiny silly mistake when we were setting up this build. So what we need to do is just come back to settings, and I'll show you where I made the mistake. Okay, so I'll come here and scroll down, and this place where it says build command, yeah, this build command, I was thinking about front end React. It's not npm run build. Npm run build is for front end React. So what I gotta do is edit this guy, and this should be npm install, because this is to install the dependencies. Okay, and then just click on save changes. Wow. Anyway, it happens sometimes. All right, so I'll come back to events, and now we have to wait for it to redeploy, because another deploy is going to start. Yeah. Okay, so it looks like our deploy has finished for the back end. Now it's time for us to just test, because now we expect that it will sync up. But you know what, let me just open this bare URL. At least we have a home route that just says home page. So let's just make sure that, okay, so you see here we have home page. Yeah, so that means our deploy has actually finished. I'll go to the front end and I'll just refresh it so that it can create a new connection to the back end. And if we don't get that error, it means okay. So you see, we don't get any network error anymore. So it means it has been able to sync to the back end. So I'll click on login here, and let me just use my test email here, and remember I changed it to Zeno123. I'll click on login, and as you can see here, I'm able to log in. All right, and we have all our products visible here on the page as well. So that's about it for this one. Everything should work. Let me just try and add a product. So I'll click on add product, and there's nothing I really have to add, but I'll just add anything here just to make sure that that functionality works, or that at least everything works in our functionality. So here I will just add this Udemy image, and then I'll just open that. I'll say Udemy image, and then I'll just add that product category. Just choose anything, price, and then just say Udemy. So now I'll click on save product. Voila, so you see we're able to have the products here. We can click this eye icon to view the product, and as you can see we have the products here. Let's go back and let's try to edit the product, and I'll just change this to Udemy image updated. That's the only thing I'll update in it. Save product, and we're back here, and you see updated. But let's go ahead and delete it because it's not an actual product. So I'll delete it, delete, and it's gone. Let's check out our profile. So I'll come here, click on the profile, and as you can see we have our profile. I'll try to edit the profile, and maybe I'll just do edited, or maybe I'll just add the dots to the name, so that just and then I'll click on edit. Oh, and I think something is wrong with my internet. Let me connect again. Okay, so I've reconnected, and let's try it one more time. So I'll click on edit profile one more time, and then I'll just maybe make some changes here. So let me just add my dots, and then I'll just click on edit. And as you can see here, we now have Xenotrust ... So technically most everything work here. I'm just going to come to the report bug, and then I'll just add a message. So I'll just say post deployment test, and then I'll just say hello Xeno, this is a deployment test, and then I'll just click on send message. So now we shouldn't have any problem with emails not sending, because we're sending with the API of render. So we'll just come to, let me just come to my, okay, I've closed my Outlook email, so I got to open it again. So I have my email open here, and as you can see we have this post deployment test, which is what we just sent. So you shouldn't have any problem with sending email once you deploy. Then lastly, let's just test our reset password functionality. I'm going to be required to log out. So as I've logged out now, just click on forgot password, and then let's just slot in that our email, and then get reset password. So we just want to confirm that the email would actually be sent. So reset email sent. I'll just come to my email here, and let me just refresh, give it a couple of seconds, and we should get our email. So you see we have the email from Node course, and everything should work. If we try to reset the password, it should work as well. So that's about it for this one. You see that the URL has also changed to pinventapp.vercel.app Okay, so this one has two forward slashes. So it means that there's a problem. We're having two forward slashes here, and what we need is one. All right. So I'll just go to my environment variable and I'll correct that so that we have just one forward slash. So let me go to my render and I'll just click on my environment variables. And what I'm interested in is the front end URL. So let me scroll down to the front end URL, because in our local developments we didn't have any forward slash, but here we mistakenly put a forward slash. So if you remove that forward slash, everything will be fine. You just need to do is to click on save changes, and then that will just redeploy our application. So I'm not going to wait for the redeploy to test. The most important thing is that I know that in my environment variable there was no forward slash in the front of the URL. So I think that's about it for most of what we need to do when it comes to deploying this application. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.